Did you know that one of the richest men in history, a man who built one of the most powerful industrial empires on Earth, made a business decision so crazy, so insane, that every expert at the time was convinced he would go bankrupt? In 1914, Henry Ford, the founder of the Ford Motor Company, did the unthinkable. He more than doubled the wages of his factory workers overnight. How is that possible? How does a man become a billionaire by paying his workers more than any of his competitors? Was this a simple act of generosity, or was it something else, a secret weapon? This is not just the story of a car. This is the story of a ruthless, brilliant, and revolutionary idea that didn't just build a company, it built the American middle class. And it is a powerful lesson in how the most counterintuitive decisions are sometimes the most brilliant. Chapter 1. The Boy Who Hated Farming. Our story begins not in a fancy boardroom, but on a dusty farm in Michigan. Henry Ford was a country boy, and he hated farm work. He saw it as slow, inefficient, and brutal. But from a young age, he was obsessed with one thing: machines. He was a natural mechanical genius. At 15 years old, he had already built his first steam engine. He didn't care about school. He only cared about how things worked. While he was working as an engineer for Thomas Edison's company, Ford had a secret obsession. In a small brick shed behind his house, he spent all his nights and weekends working on his true passion: building a horseless carriage, an automobile. At that time, in the late 1800s, cars were exotic toys for the super rich. They were built by hand, they were incredibly expensive, and they were terribly unreliable. But Henry Ford had a different vision, a vision that everyone around him, including his own father, thought was a foolish dream. He didn't want to build a toy for the rich. He dreamed of building a car for the common man, a car for the great multitude, a car so simple that anyone could fix it, and so cheap that any farmer or factory worker could afford to buy one. It was a radical, democratic idea, and nobody took it seriously. His first attempts to build a car company were a complete disaster. He founded his first company, the Detroit Automobile Company, and it failed. He founded a second, the Henry Ford Company, and he was forced out by his own investors. Why? Because they wanted to build expensive luxury cars for the rich. They didn't believe in his crazy dream of a car for the people. Once again, the world was telling him his idea was a fantasy. But Henry Ford had a personality trait that would define his entire life. He was incredibly, almost pathologically stubborn. Chapter 2. The Car That Changed the World. In 1903, with a small group of investors who believed in him, he tried a third time. He founded the Ford Motor Company, and this time, he was determined to do it his way. For the first 5 years, he produced several different models of cars, but he was still frustrated. They were too expensive and too complicated. So in 1908, he gathered his team and gave them a simple, legendary order. He told them, "We are going to build only one car. It will come in one color, black, and it will be so cheap that any man making a good salary can afford to buy one." That car was the Model T. The Model T was an instant success. It was simple, it was tough, and it was relatively cheap. But for Henry Ford, it wasn't enough. The car was still being built mostly by hand, a slow and expensive process. The demand was so huge that he couldn't make them fast enough, and the price, while lower than the competition, was still too high for the average American farmer. He needed to find a way to build the Model T faster and cheaper, much faster and much cheaper. This is when he and his engineers had the idea that would change the world forever. They studied the meatpacking plants in Chicago, where butchers worked in a line, each man performing one single, repetitive task as a side of beef moved along on a conveyor. And they asked a simple question: can we apply this idea to building a car? In 1913, after years of trial and error, Ford perfected and implemented the world's first moving assembly line for building cars in his massive new factory. It was a revolution. Before the assembly line, it took over 12 hours to build a single Model T. With the new assembly line, that time was cut down to just 93 minutes.
It was a miracle of industrial efficiency. The production numbers exploded. The price of the Model T collapsed, falling from $850 down to less than $300. Ford was finally achieving his dream. He was building a car that the common man could actually afford to buy. But this incredible success created a new and terrible problem, a problem that threatened to destroy everything he had built. Chapter 3. The $5 Insanity. The work on the assembly line was brutal. It was mind-numbingly monotonous, it was exhausting, it was dehumanizing. Workers would do the exact same small task, turning the same screw, fitting the same part, over and over again, hundreds of times a day, for 8 hours straight. The work was so soul-crushing that the workers hated it. The employee turnover rate was a catastrophic 370%. This means that to keep 100 jobs filled, Ford had to hire 370 men every year. People would rather quit than endure the monotony. The factory was descending into chaos. The constant training of new employees was costing a fortune. Production was slowing down. Henry Ford's dream was turning into an industrial nightmare. He needed to find a way to stop his workers from quitting. And this brings us to January 5th, 1914, the day Henry Ford made the most radical, the most controversial, and the most brilliant decision of his life. He called a meeting with his top advisors and announced his insane plan. He was going to solve his employee turnover problem in a way that no one could have imagined. He was going to pay them more. A lot more. He announced that he was more than doubling the average wage in his factory, from about $2.34 a day to an unbelievable $5 a day. It was a shockwave. It was a nuclear bomb dropped on the industrial world. No company had ever done anything like it. The reaction was immediate and universal. Everyone thought he had gone completely insane. His competitors were furious, accusing him of ruining the labor market. The Wall Street Journal called him a traitor to his class and a socialist. His own investors believed it was an act of financial suicide, convinced that the company would be bankrupt within a year. But what none of them understood was that Henry Ford was not a philanthropist. He was a ruthless genius, and the $5 day was not an act of charity. It was the most calculated and brilliant chess move in the history of business. Chapter 4. The secret weapon nobody saw coming. Here is what really happened. The day after the announcement, more than 10,000 desperate men swarmed the Ford factory, creating a riot, all of them begging for a $5 a day job. Henry Ford now had his pick of the best, most reliable, and hardest working men in all of Detroit. His employee turnover problem didn't just get better, it evaporated overnight. Nobody quit a $5 a day job. The stability and productivity of his factory skyrocketed. But here is the real secret, the part that was so brilliant, nobody saw it coming. By paying his workers a solid middle-class wage, Henry Ford wasn't just creating loyal workers, he was creating customers. Think about it. Suddenly, his own factory workers, the very men who were building the cars, could now actually afford to buy the cars they were building. It was a masterstroke of economic genius. He was creating a new class of consumers. He created a virtuous cycle of prosperity. By paying his people well, they had more money to spend. They spent that money on his products, which made his company more profitable. That profitability allowed him to lower the price of the Model T even further, which made it affordable for even more people, who then bought his cars, making the company even more successful. He wasn't just building cars. He was building his own market. The $5 day was not an expense. It was an investment in stability, in productivity, and most importantly, in his own customer base. While his competitors were still paying poverty wages, Ford was single-handedly creating the American middle class, one family at a time. And that middle class, armed with a new sense of economic power, bought millions and millions of his Model Ts. It was one of the most aggressive and successful growth strategies in history. The Ford empire became an unstoppable force. The company dominated the global automotive market for the next decade. Henry Ford became the richest man in the world. And it was all thanks to a single decision that every single expert considered to be a form of insanity. The story of Henry Ford is a powerful and counterintuitive lesson about money and psychology. It teaches us that the accepted rules of business are often wrong. It demonstrates that investing in your own people is not a cost. It is the smartest investment you can possibly make. And it proves that sometimes the boldest move, the one that goes against all conventional logic, is the only move that truly matters. Henry Ford didn't just build a car. He built a new kind of capitalism, an idea that the prosperity of a company is directly tied to the prosperity of its workers and its customers. And that is an idea that is as revolutionary today as it was more than 100 years ago.